The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
Good morning. Good morning, all ye nerd Avengers, and welcome on in. What a crazy couple of days, huh? Yeah, everything leaked. Everything. It's all out there. And oh, baby, do we have stuff to talk about this morning? Yes, we are going early once again. Welcome. How's everybody doing? We'll hang out for just a second as we get into all of the topics and everything that we're going to discuss today. Obviously, everything Marvel is leaking, which is insane. And we're going to discuss that. We're also going to discuss why this is happening, who it's maybe coming from, what's the dilly-dally. We will break down the descriptions of all of the different leaks. So basically, guys, there's a leak for Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, which is pretty crazy. And, well, there's even more to get into with regards to the trailer and maybe some of the things that Sony and Marvel are hiding. There is the Thor Doomsday trailer, the second. I kind of can't believe this shit happened, man. I kind of can't believe this shit happened. I took yesterday off. I mean, I didn't take it completely off, but I took it off from streams. And I was working on videos, I was editing, I was recording, I was doing stuff like that. And yeah, I was playing some Arc Raiders on that new update because it's pretty dope. But dude, yesterday was like, oh shit, this might be leaking. Oh dude, the Thor trailer might be leaking. Oh my god, the Thor trailer's real. We got audio and this shit. And then it's like, oh wait, what? This leak of Brand New Day? The Brand New Day trailer's leaking? Oh shit, that's real. Oh no, now there's more. Now there's the second part of it. It's just like, wow, this is pretty crazy. So yesterday was pretty wild. We're gonna recap it all today, and on top of that, I have other videos and other content and stuff that I am working on that's gonna try to explain what is in these trailers and what's going on with that. So lots to get into today, man. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're getting some holiday stuff going on. I'm getting a lot of time with the family and having fun, getting ready for the holidays. The Christmas spirit is real and it feels awesome. So, look, this Marvel stuff is great. I think Marvel fans are eating good. But at the same time, it's a holiday season. I just hope everybody's getting some time with their families, etc., etc. And we're going to do our thing. We're going to do our thing today. We're going to do our thing this week. Ross says, Mo leaks than baby oil at a puffy party. No diddy, Jesus. Matthew says, 4 years, and it was my birthday yesterday. Did a Josh and took the day off. Played some Arc Raiders all day. Ranch it up, Unity. Well, I appreciate you, Matthew. What does that mean, pull a Josh? I'm always... You guys, what does that mean, though? I'm always here. I'm always here working hard. Doing my thing. What does that mean? Early. Yes, we are early. How did Soups get the trailer, though? You know what's funny about that? There actually might be something to that question. We'll get into it a little bit more, but I'm not sure what we thought was going on with these leaks is actually what is going on with these leaks, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Yeah. At this point, Midnight Suns will be leaked too? Yeah, maybe. How did Thor trailer leak if the encryption keys hadn't been released? Are you getting bamboozled like with the Doomsday trailer last week? I think that's a good question. So in my first topic, I'm going to wait a little bit to answer you fully here because it's the first topic of the show. But so I spoke to some people that work at theaters, and I spoke to some insiders and some scoopers and whatnot. And, I'm really not sure. It seems like there's no way the Thor keys are out. Right? It just seems like there's no possible way the Thor keys are out. And frankly, a lot of the people that I talked to that work at theaters said they don't get it till like 48 hours before, or maybe even midnight the day before the thing is supposed to release. Now, I got to be honest, I kind of find that hard to believe because I was also told that they basically make their schedules early in the week, and that includes knowing things like trailers and things where things are. But to be fair, I was told that a lot of places get those keys later, and it's kind of hard to believe that the Thor keys would have went out already. You know what I mean? So basically, I'm starting to believe that some of the stuff is internal. But we'll get into it more. We'll get into it more. There's a lot to get into today, man. Buckle up, straddle up. We got a lot to talk about today. Zach, and I appreciate the gifted membership you did earlier, Zach. The Warhammer video was badass, brother. You have converted me. The Russos are back, and they're gonna save Marvel. Let's fucking go. Nerd Avengers for life. Awesome. Why have you leaked all of this, Josh? I would never. Yeah, right, Valrak, dude. I learned from you. I saw how you move. Hey, I'm gonna start saying it in my videos. Rumors are rumors. How about that? How about that? Very Dark Angels thing to do. I'm just going to steal your shit and act like it was mine. Rumors are rumors. Nothing is official until Marvel says it is. Couldn't run a piss up in a brewery. I'm gonna steal all your shit. Anyways, it's good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. What was Zach's question? Kind of blanked on that. Oh, the Warhammer video. How about that? Yeah. So if you didn't know, and if you don't know, now you know. I made a video. I've been working on it for a while. It is a video that explains Warhammer lore through Marvel Comics terms. I think it's an awesome video, dude. It's a badass video. It's over on the Warhammer Explained channel. I dropped it yesterday. It is designed to help Marvel fans learn Warhammer and get into Warhammer. So we're going to convert everybody into Warhammer fans. That's right, even you. And this video is an important part of it, so go check it out. Justin, you should watch that video. You should watch that video. I challenge any Marvel fan to watch that video and not come out of it thinking, you know what, Warhammer's kind of badass. It's almost like they took a lot of the really cool things from Marvel. Hey, Josh, what are your thoughts on the potential DCU Batman casting? I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's hard to get hyped and talk about a separate Batman casting when you have, like, the Batman Part 2 on the horizon, and you've got rumors about Brad Pitt, and you've got rumors about Scarlett Johansson, et cetera, right? So, like, I don't know, man. Like, are people really... Is there, like, actual emotion and excitement around the Batman casting? I don't really think there is. In fact, you know, I was being a little bit like of a memester and a shyster yesterday on social media, but I mean, facts are facts. And, you know, we're going to get into this a little bit more today, but the motion that Marvel has this week with these leaked trailers and with the marketing campaign for Doomsday, I mean, it's just, you haven't seen anything like this in the DCU. Maybe when Superman's first trailer was dropped, or maybe the first week after Superman, you saw some real movement and some motion over in the DC community. But frankly, I think this is a great example, even just with, I mean, it's fucking Wednesday, you know what I mean? And the amount of impressions that I've personally had are ridiculous, talking about Marvel and all of that. But it's just like, I don't know. I honestly, if I were a DCU fan, I'd be like, what the fuck, you know? And also, if I were a Star Wars fan, I would equally be upset. I mean, say what you will about Marvel and say what you will about maybe some of the thinking that has taken them to this place where they are currently at. But, like, legitimately, next year we're getting this insane Spider-Man movie. The director's fucking going for it. The thing looks incredible. We watched this thing in like 140p, and it looks incredible. It looks incredible. And the contents of this trailer, the characters that are there, the payoffs, the mystery, it is like we're operating on a different level here. And then Doomsday is that's just like, that's crazy, bro. And that's on another level as well. And so again, I've been saying this how long have I been saying this, chat? How long have I been beating this drum, doing this march, and basically explaining that, yes, although things are bad for Marvel and they fell off like a lot of other things fell off, they're actually rebuilding in a competent way. You know, they're rebuilding in a competent way. The signs have been there, and the fans are excited. And I think all they have to do is deliver the goods. They have to deliver the goods, obviously. If they put more slop out, it's not going to, you know, you can't out-promote slop, right? But, brother, I think Marvel's about to show you why they're the biggest in town, even when they were falling off. I think Marvel's about to show you why they were the GOATs and potentially can still be the GOATs, you know? And what that's really about is it's really just about being sort of on the bleeding edge of satisfying fans, of giving novel experiences, of doing things that sort of shock and awe, right? I mean, it's more than just movies, which is why, Kevin, you know, look, I even have people that I talk to that I really respect that are pretty anti-Kevin these days. And the thing is, it's the fact that this isn't just art that I think people get kind of hung up on, because the creation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the persistence of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is so much more than just art. It's really a managing thing. It's spinning multiple plates. It's kind of being plugged in. It's, you know, being able to produce and recruit, and I mean, it's just, there's so many layers to this, and again, not to be like, you know, mean or whatever to Star Wars or to DC, but I think it's pretty fucking obvious. You look at the promises Gunn made in that first year, and then you look at where we're at now, and I mean, it's just obvious that this shit is way harder than people think. It is way harder than people think, right? And the same could be said for Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars at one time had what looked to be the structure of something that was Marvel-esque, basically through the Mandoverse and all of that sort of stuff. And be real, that shit is fallen apart completely, dude. So it's like, we don't even, I mean, I will be mean about it, you know, I'll try not to, but I will be mean about it. The reality is, like, Marvel's fall off was because it was judged against its incredible run of success, something that everybody like came to understand wholly after the fall off. There was this weird juxtaposition, right? And it's like, okay, yeah, it's so obvious now looking back at what it was, how golden that was and how bad things are right now, you know? And the different, look, the way I see this playing out, and who knows, because sure, Doomsday could suck, Spider-Man could suck, we'll get into it all. But the way I'm sort of viewing it is, the best at doing it and the GOATs got cocky. They took the audience for granted and they fucked up. But they were still the GOATs. And even when they fell off, they were still bigger than most. And the recalibration that they're about to do is going to be, I think, as impressive, maybe not as impressive, but pretty close to as impressive as their run up to Infinity War and Endgame, which, remember too, was not perfect. This did not go off without a hitch. There were dips in phase 2. There were dips very early in phase 3. You know, there were a lot of things that kind of came together, but yeah, that's kind of the way I view it. Anyway, you got me yapping on that one. Caitlin says, I'm very excited for Marvel's future after the leaks. Destiny is cooking. Thor's prayer gave me chills. The Russos had everyone talking. Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're going to get more into the actual description of all that shit. But, dude, that Thor dialogue, like... And again, like, dude, not to toot my own horn, but toot fucking toot! I've been saying it. The Russos did better. The Russos did better. And maybe it's McFeely. Maybe it's the whole team. Maybe it's Agbo. Maybe it's just the magic that happens with that certain collaboration. But the Russos did better with Black Panther than Coogler did. I'm sorry. That's what I think. The Russos did better with Spider-Man than the other dude did. Sorry. The Russos did better with Captain Marvel than anybody has done in an individual Captain Marvel movie. Sorry. And again, I don't know if it's exactly them or if it's McFeely, if it's just they have this sensibility or whatever. But dude, you read that fucking dialogue in that Thor trailer, and I mean, it makes me want to smash Taika Waititi in Minecraft through a wall. You know, like it's like it's pretty wild. But it also shows that like there's plenty of gold in them hills still, and a lot of people are really excited about what they could do with Thor. Kind of reminds me of that interview that Hemsworth had, where he said like I could do more, but it would have to be very different, like for my own mental health or something. he kind of said some crazy stuff here. Corey says, "Where did Soups get that trailer though? God damn it!" Appreciate the 199. Zack Attack says the Russos do right by Thor always. Well, let's not get crazy here. They did give us Fat Thor. Okay, let's not get crazy. They're not infallible. They left us with some kind of whack ass shit. Okay, but they do handle these characters better than other people. That's fair. You know, that's fair. I'm not saying they always gave us everything great though. Okay. Yeah. Thor still has so much untapped potential. Yeah, I agree. I'm really excited that Thor's doing his thing again. And we're gonna get into all of it, chat. Just give me a couple more minutes here. Let's have a couple more sips of coffee. Let's just see what y'all are saying. I mean, dude, trust me. We got a lot to talk about today. It's gonna be a good day. And again, we are going early. Yo, here's what I'll say. Give me 1 second. Let's talk about the rest of the week. Tomorrow, I'm pretty sure tomorrow what I want to do is I'm going to go see the Captain America trailer in the theater as it was intended to be seen. You guys are so misbehaved watching it on the internet. So I'm going to watch that shit tomorrow in the theater the way it's supposed to be designed. Hopefully pretty early, but, you know, we'll see. I'm working on some things. And then I'm going to come right home. I'm not watching Avatar. Luckily, I don't have to pay for it. But I'm not going to watch Avatar tomorrow. I'm going to go watch the trailer, and I'm going to come right the fuck back here and go live immediately after. That's the plan. I'll have my popcorn. I will still have my popcorn and Milk Duds from the theater tomorrow. So I don't know when that stream will be. Maybe in the afternoon, maybe early afternoon, maybe late afternoon. We'll see. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Friday, I got a nice little surprise for y'all Friday, okay? Evening stream, 5 p.m. I'm going to be drinking holiday drinks, Christmas themed drink. It's a drinking stream. Not that that's the point, but I will be drinking. And Friday, you know what we're going to do? Friday, we're going to look back at my predictions for Star Wars, DC, and Marvel. And I think I did one for everything else, like The Boys, Invincible shit. My predictions that I made late last year for 2025. We're going to see how I did with my predictions. And we'll do it over a couple of holiday drinks. Who knows? Maybe there's some other holiday surprises happening Friday evening. So look out for that Friday evening, 5 p.m. I'll have some Christmas cocktails. And we'll look back at how my predictions were for 2025. I think I got a lot wrong. So that's kind of the plan for this week. Jupiter says, told y'all yesterday MCU's back. Phase began when Bolts and F4 writing felt like phases 1 to 2 films. I agree with you. I think that was a intentional thing that they did. And I kind of agree with you on the vibes of that. I hope Zack Snyder works on Warhammer so it flops harder. Hey, what the fuck? It's Christmas time. It's the holiday season. And you're over here trying... Listen to this. Vessel's Vocal, thanks for the 5, I guess, says, I hope Zack Snyder works on Warhammer so it flops as hard as Josh's other favorite series, Rebel Moon, Nerd Avengers for life. I want you to know you're getting coal in your stocking. I want you to know that. You're getting coal in your stocking. Freaking boho. Mr. Lucky says, hey, Josh, finally caught you live. Keep up the awesome streams. Merry Christmas to you and New Year, man. Much love. Ranch Vengers for life. Jesus. Thor praying to Odin is peak. We are back. I agree with you, CC Black. I agree with you. Okay. That guy knows ball. Jesus. Okay, should we get into it a little bit? I think we got a few people in here. Should we get into it? Nerdvengers. Is it time? Shall we start discussing? Early stream? Yeah, brother. Early stream today. Oh, don't worry. We'll talk about Jean Grey, guys. We will talk about Jean Grey. Papa Josh has a couple of stories to tell you. I've got a couple of stories to tell you. It's going to be good times. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me fix one thing before we start this. I need to delete a couple things. Hey, real quick, chat. What are you guys asking Santa for Christmas? What are you guys asking Santa for? Also, too, for all ye Warhammer fans and Warhammer haters, Corey says, I hope Gunn works on Warhammer so that this whole time they are joking and messing around the whole time and it flops. I don't know which super chat I fucking hate more, to be honest. Both of those are terrible. Thanks. Doomsday trailer online? Dude, okay. Yeah, no stream ever. Wait, what? Yo, it was my birthday yesterday. I love y'all. Josh, you in this community have been so great to me. Oh, and Josh, Street Fighter movie will make more than Dungeons and Dragons. God damn it. Probably right. Thanks. Glad. Happy birthday. Glad you're enjoying the community. Fuck out of here with this Dungeons and Dragons. Kaylin says, I think Marvel has learned from their mistakes in phases 4 and 5. Phase 7 should start with the X-Men, Doc Strange, Black Panther 3, Fantastic Four, Midnight Suns. That's a strong fucking lineup, my friend. And you might be pretty close to that. You might be pretty close to that, dog. Shit. Phase 7? Yeah. Yeah, Adam. Buckle your butthole up for Phase 7. Maybe Phase 6, 7. DJ Crew says, I think I'm finally fully on board with Sadie playing a Jean. Hashtag Josh was right. Let's go. Nerdvengers, much love. Don't worry, we'll get into it. I don't want to spoil that shit. Hang on now. Okay, let's begin. And I think the best place to begin, RM has unreal expectations, but it's a good series. Oh, Rebel Moon. Yeah. I get you. Hey, God damn it, Connor. I'm trying to start a segment here. Okay, Okay, I love the super chats are great. The member chats are great. Maybe we time them a little bit better. You know what I mean? Let me hang on. Connor with the 5, appreciate you. Says, hey, it's Doom Servant. Hey, appreciate you, bro. Says in the Discord, just sent Doomsday rumor from the same source in Discord. Cap, time jump. God bless the Nerdvengers. Okay, we will definitely cover that. Remind me, Connor, when we get a little after this. Remind me during the Thor segment. We'll look at that. Okay, appreciate you, brother. Dual Boy Jack says Friday during the drinking stream. Can we also look back at your Rebel Moon predictions? No, never heard of Rebel Moon in my fucking life. I've never said it. I've never seen it. I don't know what it is. You guys keep saying it. I've never heard of her. Honestly, we're getting a little carried away with the trailers. They are trailers. Best trailers ever was Kenobi, so I'll wait. God damn it, Carl. Thanks. Dirty says, Merry Christmas, brother. Babies are amazing, man. Crazy how my son has already won and still learning to walk while your little girl is crushing walking. Yeah, but so there's multiple things that could be going on there. I mean, so Athena has the benefit of her brother, right? Meaning, your son... or is it daughter? Your son is just learning on his own. Athena had her brother and she's just watching him like a hawk and she's like, no, I'm going to do what he does. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So, don't sweat it. And also they're all different, man. They're all different, so they learn things at different times and all that. But yes, Athena is something, man. She's living up to her namesake. So in Greek mythology, Athena springs from Zeus's head, fully formed, armor and all. And when Athena was first born, actually, right when she was placed on her mom, she literally lifted her head up and looked around the room. And the doctors, the nurses, both of us were like, whoa, because you're not supposed to do that. You know what I mean? And you don't have the strength to do that. But Athena is living up to her namesake for sure. And yeah, all I'll say, man, is like it is wonderful having kids during this time of year, especially to see the holiday season through their eyes is a true blessing. So happy for you, happy for all the parents out there. It's a good time. Ethical says, big nerd vengeance these past 7 months. Can't believe the countdown to Doomsday is already here. Need those Thor and Doom trailers ASAP. Much love. Okay, let's hold off on I'm gonna miss. Frankly, guys, I'm gonna start getting into the segments here. I will definitely ask you guys for your thoughts towards the end of the segments, and maybe that's the place for the messages, etc., etc. But let me cook a little bit up here, okay? All right. So let's begin by talking about how every fucking thing leaked yesterday. What happened? This was insane. So a lot of you already know this, but I'll sort of catch you guys up on it and my perspective on it, and we'll talk about why it happened, what is going on. A lot of memes, a lot of jokes. You know, Kevin Feige. I don't know how he feels, right? But okay, so let's just go over it. So on Monday, we had a leak for the Steve Rogers Doomsday trailer, which I already thought was wild. I already thought it was, I mean, from where I was, my perspective on this was like, dude, really? Like, this shit is just out there, you know what I mean? And so it was pretty wild, and a lot of, like, it got worse. You know, I guess we're a little bit lucky because when we were live and it was early Monday, I was looking for the trailer. I would have put it on stream, etc., and just, it never happened and we never found it. But then later on in the day, it went out there. People also took the trailer, ran it through AI, and made basically a perfect replica of what was in the trailer that didn't have any of the digital footprints of the copywritten protection. Wild times. Okay, wild times. So anyway, Monday happened, and I was like, this is fucking nuts, dude. This is nuts. I was like, I'm going to take Tuesday off, which I did. I was working on videos. I'm working on a big 20+ minute video that discusses why Steve Rogers is back. It starts with like the basic concepts. It gets into the thematic stuff, and then it gets into some of the theories about his child. That'll probably drop either later today or tomorrow. Big video on the main channel. But in my mind, I was like, okay, that's probably all the leaks, because this is one of the craziest leaks that's ever happened. So we'll have leaks on, you know, early next week for Thor. We'll have early the following week leaks for Doom, etc., etc. That's because my understanding of what had happened was that these things were encrypted. They were behind the scenes. The theaters had them, but they're encrypted. And the keys come in, what I assumed was Sunday evening. In fact, people reached out to me and told me that they were getting their keys Sunday evening. And so it basically, very early Monday, it was possible theater chains were unlocking these trailers to, I don't know, check them for quality control, do any number of things. And right now, a lot of folks believe, and there's still people out there saying and reporting, that that's what happened, that these keys went out, the theater employees were the ones that sort of broke embargo, and et cetera, right? But now with the Thor trailer leaking and its audio's out there, I've seen some of the images out there, but it's hard to know what's real because people are running stuff through AI. The fact that the Thor trailer leaked so early, and frankly, I talked to people at theater chains, and the people I talked to said they don't get the key to unlock that trailer till like 48 hours before, maybe 24 hours before, right? So basically what I'm saying is, I'm starting to think this was maybe intentional. Now, I know that's a crazy thought, and people are like, I don't know about that. But it's either intentional, or at the very least, it's coming from an internal source. Like, there's basically a 0% chance that the Thor trailer is actually leaking from theaters, you know, being unencrypted. Like that the odds of that are basically zero. And so technically, now that brings into question what exactly happened with the Steve Rogers leaks. Okay, now going back to the shit where you guys were all like, how did Soups get the trailer? How did Soups get the trailer? Well, look, I don't know. I had assumed he had just had access to somebody that had the keys. But also, Soups has been posting some images over at Agbo hanging out with the Russos. And also, last time I had so many people in chat, I'm going to just be honest with you. Last time I had so many people in chat saying one thing over and over again, like, because everybody was like, how did Soups get the trailer? How did Soups get the trailer? The last time some shit like that happened to me was when Sony put a bunch of bots in our chat, and they were like, Noel is coming or some shit. I forget exactly what they were saying, but like, it looked like this organic thing of a bunch of chatters talking about Noel for the Venom trailer. I later found out that that was a coordinated, like, basically army of bots. And look, without going too far down this road, I will just say that I've come to understand that a lot of things over the past 4 years that we thought were organic, and the way these studios are putting stuff out into the world has basically changed and is a lot more coordinated than you think. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying the plot thickens a bit here, and we have to, like, consider the possibility that this is a little bit more coordinated than you would think. And I do think a lot of influencers, especially people like Matt, who I like, but is also, like, completely affiliated on the studio side, like, completely, especially through people like him that are basically going to play pretty friendly. I mean, we can see this with DC. Marvel was doing this way before DC, you know, bringing out the influencers and the people to the premieres, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't necessarily blame them because, you know, people like me are a little bit more risque. We could say whatever, you know, I curse like a sailor. Like, there's a lot of reasons why I'm not good for them in that sense, okay? But you know what? It's fine because we do our thing, they do their thing, all good. But I'm just saying, like, dude, I'm starting to think that this shit might be a little bit coordinated. But let's then talk about Brave New World. Or Brand New Day, sorry. The Spider-Man leaks cannot be intentional. Those are not intentional. And by the way, a lot of people are reporting that neither are the Doomsday leaks, so it's completely possible that this is all organic, internal leaks. Many reasons why that could be happening. But let's talk about the Spider-Man stuff. So, randomly, the Spider-Man thing hits. And I got to be real. Look, like, Doom Servant Connor is in here. And he's an awesome community member. And he shares a lot of stuff with me privately. And he's keeping me up to date on this, that, second, and third. And I really appreciate it. But when Connor first posted in the Discord the Spider-Man leak, I just could not believe that it was real. And I just couldn't fucking believe it was real. I was like, there's no way. But all of a sudden, there started to be evidence that it was real. And I'll tell you one thing, dead ass right now, and I want you to pay attention, lean in. The same source that told me that Sadie is Jean confirmed that this trailer was real before a lot of you other buttholes out there confirmed that it was real. Okay? Just think about that. Okay? So, so it became clear that trailer was real. So what is the deal with that trailer? Well, I'll tell you the best explanation that we currently have, although I don't know that we know for sure. And I would also say, guys, take all this stuff with a grain of salt. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again. This game of, like, you know, I don't know what you would even call it. I mean, I just call it, like, my weaponized neurodivergent obsessive self, right? But you know, maybe it's some form of journalism, internet detective, whatever you want to call it. In this game, you will not get everything right. You will get stuff wrong. That's just going to happen. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong in the future. So everything that I say is always take it with a grain of salt, right? What does Valrak always say? Rumors are rumors. Just because I believe something doesn't mean you have to believe it. And until Marvel officially confirms it, it's just a rumor. Rumors are rumors. Okay? But at the same time, I'm pretty good at this. You know what I mean? I'm pretty good at this. So, what's the deal with this trailer? It seems as though this was some kind of a survey system, which I don't fully understand this, but what I'm being told is this was some kind of a survey system to see how audiences felt about this cut of the trailer, and to potentially get this trailer fine-tuned for a release that was going to come very, very soon, maybe in the next couple of weeks, right? That's what people are saying. And I don't know. I mean, that's probably the best version that we have of that so far. What I will say is, you know, there's some buzz out there, some rumblings from the different insiders that are saying that Sony is potentially moving this trailer up. I believe it was going to come out near Christmas time on a Sony movie. You know, I think it would be smart for them to play it in front of Fire and Ash, but I've heard that they really wanted to play it in front of some other Sony movie that's out there. Maybe you guys know what the movie is. I'm not sure what the movie is. However, it's very possible Sony's going to move on this fast and go for it. Okay? So that appears to be what happened. And it's like, okay, well, so goddamn, fucking craziest 2 days of leaks for Marvel in maybe years. And there's maybe concerns, there's questions. A lot of people are like having different reactions to it. You know, I see some of these people out here that are like, I don't cover leaks or I can't cover leaks. You know, all good, totally fair. But I would tell you that like the culture has moved past that position. You know what I mean? Like the culture, especially the culture of like the people that really care about this shit, have moved way past that. Like we're going to talk about everything we can. Anaconda, sure, that's the one. Yeah. We're going to talk about every goddamn thing we can. I didn't sign no NDA and I didn't hear no bell. Okay? But before we get into actually breaking these things down in great detail, I do think it's worth saying that this is incredible motion. That regardless of how you feel about this, it shows a true hunger and a true appetite for Marvel secrets, Marvel content, Marvel trailers, these movies. And again, compare that to where stuff is at with DC, compare that to where stuff is at with Star Wars. And man, I just think that something that's been obvious to me for a long time is going to become pretty obvious to everybody else. And that is, even as it was falling off, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is on another level. And Marvel itself is just on another level. And that is not to say that they are handling everything well right now. DC is dominating them in comics right now. Not completely sales to sales, volume by volume. Marvel's still outselling them, but it's never been closer. And DC's quality, I think, is overall way better than Marvel in comics right now. But that's great because that's going to push Marvel. That's why they signed Joshua Williamson, probably, right? So competition is good, and I have nothing against DC being better and pushing Marvel. But we got to be real about some shit, man. Like, we got to be real about some shit. There's just nothing like the motion that Marvel can create when it's actually doing what fans want. And it's actually kind of wild to consider how much went wrong, how far they fell off, how much the slate of releases over the past few years have not resonated and not even reached this same group of people that were so dialed in before. And yet, you cannot deny the movement, the motion, the earned media, the impressions. People are excited. People are curious. People want this shit to come back. I think there's a lot of people that are even Marvel haters that kind of low-key want it to come back. Because it was almost getting to the point where, like, you couldn't even really get that many views hating on it. You know what I mean? Like, it was like the well was really drying out. So I think it's actually better for all of us if they get back to business. And I think they are getting back to business. And I think yesterday just shows the incredible amount of motion that this thing can still have. So before we get to breaking down the actual descriptions of these different things, et cetera, what do you guys think? You got any questions about these trailers, about what's happening, about why it happened, about some of the strange possibilities out there? What do you think's going on? So you think it officially comes out next week? The Spider-Man trailer? High likelihood, high chance. Let's talk about Grey Hulk. Sadie's dialogue makes no sense. We're going to talk about all of that, man. We're going to talk about all of that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I just want to see the impression and SEO numbers. Oh, dude, it's probably absurd. It's probably absurd. Corey says, chat, we think Josh a Goopa or no? I think the Burnt Peanut is one of the most entertaining streamers doing streaming right now. Mr. Chief Gunner says, Warner Brothers rejects Paramount bid this morning. Keep up the grind, Josh. Love to see it in Avengers for Life. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. I mean, it really does seem like it's Netflix, which is kind of wild. Like, it's wild that I mean, Paramount really fucked up, dude. Like, they were really slow rolling this thing, and they got caught. At least that's what it appears to be, yeah. Merry Christmas, brother. My daughter has a speech disability and special needs, so we're watching your content and just want to say thank you for giving us joy. Well, I really appreciate that. I hope you are finding joy in the stream, but also just in this time of year. Appreciate you, man. I don't care. Give me Kang and T'Challa, Black Panther, not Toussaint, and maybe I'll be back to watching the MCU. Yeah. Fair, man. Look, I don't think there's anything wrong with fans voicing strong opinions about this shit. I mean, we are kind of the boss in some ways. And I think the Marvel fandom has done their part as far as speaking to some of these issues. But yeah. Josh is playing Doc Ock in the new Spider-Man. What? Don't spoil that shit. Honestly, if Netflix keeps movies in the theaters, I'm okay with them owning it. Yeah, I think Netflix is going to play ball a little bit with the theatrical. I don't know that they're going to keep it exactly the same way as it was. And to be honest with you, maybe it needed to change. But yeah. I want to hear Magneto say, we fought too long for this utopia, Charles. I don't know about you, but I'm not prepared to give it up. Oh, I like that. That's kind of cool, man. That's kind of cool. Are we getting a Unity teaser before Christmas? You'll get a Unity announcement. I don't know if I want to call it a teaser, but I will definitely get an announcement. Yeah. Is it true that you leaked the trailers? No. Josh, Ahsoka season 2 is delayed. Thoughts? Philip, thank you for the gifted membership. Here's what I'll say about Ahsoka. I don't know that it is actually delayed. So what happened was there was a documentation that came out with releases in 2026, and Ahsoka was not on it. It is possible it got bumped. It is absolutely possible it got bumped to 2027. And I guess that sucks, but at the same time, Star Wars is so fucking cooked. I don't know that it matters. I think Ahsoka needs to be really good more than it needs to be in 2026. That's my opinion on that. Did you see the Kingpin actor was saying he hopes he interacts with Spider-Man? Does that mean Kingpin isn't in the new Spider-Man film? I don't think Kingpin is in the new Spider-Man film, but, things could change. Will the MCU be able to stand on its own without the OG Avengers in the reset? I think that is a great question. I think there are ways to hedge that bet, but ultimately I think we're all thinking the same thing. New X-Men shit has to be strong. New X-Men has to be strong. Otherwise, I don't know. Donnie says, is one of your best friends ever a black man? Where did you get all that soul from? That's a weird question. I mean, technically my best friend is black, but I don't know. That's a weird question. Kaylin says, thanks for the gifted, man. Appreciate you. PvP Gamer says, any word on how Soup's got the Doomsday trailer? God damn it. That's what we're doing? There was a press conference seen on TV that could have been Kingpin. Well, so that's kind of interesting. I've actually heard that is a stronger possibility. Like, maybe they would take found footage. I guess it's technically not found footage, but it would be footage from the movie or I guess the show and put it on the TV in the background of Spider-Man. That could absolutely be real. I think we're going to have to see what happens in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, and then we're going to have to wait to see what happens in the Punisher special, because I think, like, Daredevil Season 2 happens, could change some things in New York, could tie into Spider-Man, and then you get Frank Castle and his special, which I think comes out right before Spider-Man. I think that is also going to explain some shit to him. Shimiki, welcome to the Nerd Vengers, or I guess welcome back. You are a Nerd Venger now. They should release the Spider-Man trailer on Christmas Day. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. You know, I don't know that I'm going to make any content on Christmas, man. Like, I think it's fun. Like, because I think obviously one of the big trailers will drop on Christmas. I think it's the Thor one. Although some leakers are telling me they're going to leak the Doomsday shit on Christmas as well. So I guess Merry fucking Christmas to us. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I want to make any content on Christmas. Like, can't it just wait till the next day? When is Christmas? I mean, I know it's the 25th, but is that Thursday? I can wait for Friday, guys. Yeah. Oh, that's Wednesday. So, guys, we could take next Wednesday off, and then literally Thursday, day after Christmas, what do they call that shit? Boxing Day or whatever? Day after Christmas, we'll go live. We'll talk about the trailer. We'll do our thing. So, I don't think we need to be live on Christmas. You know, maybe I'll have a video out on Christmas, but that would be something I had done before, right? All right. Any other comments about what's going on with the leaks and the scoops? I don't think there's much more that needs to be said here. I think it's time to get into this shit. Start breaking down what's in the Spider-Man trailer. Christmas is Thursday? What? Oh, fuck. You right. How did I miss that? I looked right at this shit and didn't see it. My mind is playing tricks on me. Okay, so like I said, Thursday and then Friday, we'll go live Friday. Hey, baby, it's all good, baby. We'll go live Friday. Friday. It's Friday, Friday. You know what's funny about that song, that Friday song? When that shit was popping off was right when I found out Disney was buying Star Wars. And back then I was excited. Oh, man. Okay. All right, lads and lasses. Are you ready to get into the Spider-Man trailer? It's time. And I don't even know why I've got this accent now. But I'm gonna keep it for the rest of the stream. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay. Shall we begin? So I'm pretty sure, let me just check one thing before we get into here. You know, I'm pretty sure we're safe on this here. Give me a second here. Let me put this shit up. So what we're going to do here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hang on, chat. Hang on, everybody. Hang on. Hang on. I got to do some things here. Hang on now. Display capture there. Okay. We're over here on Austin's tweet, man. Austin, a member of the community. An overall chill-ass dude. Give him a follow on the Twitter. He's a good follow. So, I guess... okay. So, yes, the brand new day trailer leaked yesterday, and it's real. It leaked in 2 parts. This description may well only include the first part. The second part's a little bit more action-y stuff at the end. Maybe this is the full thing, but we'll get into it. This is a breakdown of what was in the trailer. We obviously cannot watch it live. I've watched it a couple of times. And before we get into the description, I'll say a couple of things. This trailer is awesome. I saw people online with the take that this trailer mogs the Doomsday trailers. So far, that's true. I mean, we only know about 2 of the Doomsday trailers, but so far, this Spider-Man trailer is cooking with gas. This shit is crazy. Action, fun mystery, awesome ensemble cast of Marvel characters. This trailer is good. It also looks incredible. We watched it on like 140p quality from some dude's cell phone in a closet at wherever Sony thing, and yet it still looks incredible. I literally saw takes from people that are really on like more film Twitter or like film YouTube, and they were like, dude, Destin is cooking. This shit looks already better than a lot of that other stuff, et cetera, et cetera. So, dude, this trailer looks incredible. I can't wait to see the full version. It's dope, okay? Well, with that being said, let's now talk about the things that are in the trailer. There's a lot to digest here. There's a lot to break down, so we're going to go over it. I will also talk about how this ties into other rumors and things that we've heard. And, of course, we will speak about Sadie Sink, Jean Grey, Shakira, hips don't lie, but Sony does. We're going to talk about it all. So, here we go. Spider-Man Brand New Day, full detailed trailer description. The trailer opens on a New York City skyline set to LCD sound systems. New York, I love you, but you're bringing me down. Perfectly reflecting Peter's current life. He loves the city, but he's completely alone. No one remembers him. He's lost MJ, Ned, Aunt May, and Pattinson's Batman. He seems obsessed with being Spider-Man as a coping mechanism. What the fuck? We see Peter in a small apartment from No Way Home tossing mail on the table, possibly overdue rent bills or college rejection letters, as he's expected to attend university in this film. Peter narrates the scene with this. Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me. The only way to stop... Oh, something bad was going to happen. So this is a little bit off because now I've seen the trailer like a million times, so I know what it says. Something bad was going to happen, but I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man. As he speaks, we see him saving somebody at a New York restaurant, possibly MJ or Ned. And then we see Spider-Man standing at a podium with New York City officials seemingly being acknowledged publicly. That scene likely takes place after a rumored opening montage showing Spider-Man taking down multiple villains over the past few years. Naturally, J. Jonah Jameson is probably losing his mind, calling Spider-Man a menace on TV. A quick shot shows someone recording Spider-Man, hinting at surveillance. This could tie to Lisa Colin, Zaya's rumored cop character who may be keeping tabs on Spider-Man, even possibly discovering his identity. The montage that follows is incredible. Peter running without his mask, a recreation of Amazing Fantasy number 15. That's that one where he's like swinging in and saving somebody. The Hand, confirmed as red cloud-clad ninjas, swarm Spider-Man before a massive action set piece showcasing Destin Daniel Crichton's action style. There's also a blink and you miss it shot of Spidey colliding with somebody, possibly Punisher. Narration continues. Sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing and embrace the Peter Parker side. As Peter enters the same restaurant from earlier, inside is a hooded figure, Sadie Sink's mystery character, who warns him, stay out of my way, or it won't just be your friends who forget who Peter Parker is. We will absolutely come back to that, but it even says here in the description, the two main theories are Shakira or Jean Grey. Multiple insiders are now hinting she's a mutant, which would make sense. Jean could be the only one who knows Peter is really due to her powers. My theory is that the true main villain, rumored to be an Asian man in his 30s, 40s, is manipulating Jean from the shadows, using her abilities with Feige confirming X-Men introductions. This would perfectly fit within the story. That's true, but I'm going to say a little bit more about that. The trailer then cuts to audio only. We hear fighting and tombstones. Marvin Jones III saying spiders have 3 life cycles. Between them, the spider is vulnerable. Those that survive are reborn. Now, they don't know for sure that it is Tombstone's dialogue, and I don't think it is. In fact, I think it's Peter's dad, but we're going to talk more about that in a second. We see Peter on the armored truck from the set photo, Scorpion smiling after escaping prison, massive explosions, and incredibly expensive Spidey lenses. Punisher's war van slams into Spider-Man in another shot pulled straight from set leaks. Peter then asks Bruce Banner for help outside of a university. Banner says, "You're not one of my students, are you?" Confirming Smart Hulk is a professor at either MIT or ESU. So Peter asks him, "I need your help, Professor Banner." And then Banner says, "You're not one of my students, are you?" Okay, and we will talk more about that because there are some leaks and some explanations for what that is. The song erupts as song returns as chaos erupts in the streets, missiles, explosions, Spidey dodging debris mid-swing. The Spider-Man Brand New Day logo appears, followed by Punisher firing shots. Spidey asks, "What are you doing here?" Frank Castle responds, "Saving your ass. Can't you see that?" And then the trailer ends with the release date, July 31st, 2026. Okay, so pretty good description of what is in there. I actually think there's even more. I believe the second half of the trailer had even more, but it is mostly just action and montagey stuff. But damn, the action looks dope, and this all sounds really fun. So I think the framing here is obviously that Peter is playing out what he would say to MJ. And because he keeps wanting to tell MJ. And I think what's going to happen is as he's getting more and more lonely, he's really going to want MJ back, and he's going to want her to know what's going on, and he's just going to want companionship, right? And one of the rumors, and we don't know how true this is, but one of the rumors is that MJ's got a new boyfriend, and I heard Zendaya wanted to do this. I think it's actually those two dudes that from the tennis movie. And she's going to, like, Peter's going to go see her, and she's going to be making out with both of them. It's Zendaya's idea. I don't fully understand it. You know, their business is their business, but that's what's going on. And this is going to infuriate Peter Parker. When he sees the two tennis dudes making out with his girl, he's going to rage out. That's, like, one of the rumors. That's the thing that's going on there. A lot of this other stuff tracks, right? With the Scorpion and other villains, montage, Peter being somewhat associated with maybe the city as well. But then again, if it's Wilson Fisk outlawing vigilantes, could he actually really be still a part of all of that? I'm not sure. But again, maybe we'll get that explained in the Daredevil season 2 and in the Punisher show. Okay. A couple other things we want to talk about. Let's talk about Bruce. So it's actually seen in the trailer that it is Bruce Banner, not Smart Hulk. We do see Hulk, and we've seen enough to know that Hulk is in the movie, but I believe this will be Banner, and I think it's a little bit closer to what you see during the events of She-Hulk, where, remember, he had some ability to turn back into human form via whatever was on his wrist, some kind of thing like that, okay? And it would appear that Banner is a professor at one of those colleges, and it's either at MIT and Peter's going over to MIT to figure this out, or it's in New York and it's like maybe the college that Peter got into or something, right? So that could be what's going on. But either way, what's the deal with Bruce Banner and what's the deal with Peter Parker? What's the connection there? Well, there have been some things teased, mostly by Alex Perez, and I don't want to put any words in Alex's mouth, okay? But I sometimes hear some things that he says. I sort of talk to some other folks, and then I sort of speculate on what it is. So just this is speculation here, but I think there's evidence that Banner has something to do with Peter and Peter's parents. Now, originally, people thought this was that Hulk maybe killed Peter's parents, but I don't think so. I think, if anything, Peter and Bruce were colleagues. Okay, now this is going to a little bit of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, where, remember, there's this thing introduced, I think, in the second film, where Peter's dad was something like a secret agent or something, and was more than just like some nerdy dude that died or whatever, but it was actually like working maybe on the spiders. Okay, so this whole phrase here, this thing where it says spiders have 3 phases of life, and in between the phases, they are weak. I think that could be archival footage from the lab of Peter's father speaking about the spiders when he was working with a young Bruce Banner. Okay? Again, heavy speculation. I'm just trying to pull strings together here. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that could be what it is. And I think there could be some connection to Gamma and whatever was going on with the spider, and potentially a connection between what Gamma actually is, what Hulk actually is, what Spider-Man actually is, and maybe some truth about the multiverse kind of a stuff going on. Okay. We've seen in the trailer, there's like this shot where it looks like Peter's like naked and he's like falling out of a cocoon or something. That's not mentioned in here, but that's something that other people have talked about because it's definitely in there. I think there could be something going on with Peter that is connected to the Web of Life and Destiny that is weird. And I think that's where some of the Shathra stuff comes from. Like, people are like just associating that with Shathra and, like, you know, all of that, right? But I personally think there's something far cooler and more weird going on with Peter, and he might seek Banner's help after realizing that it has something to do with Gamma. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. Okay, so that's what's going on with him. Now let's talk about Frank Castle a minute here. Frank Castle shows up, and look, it looks kind of like, and it's hard to see because the trailers are, you know, hidden and all that, but it kind of looks like Punisher shooting somebody in the fucking face. Like, he shows up and he's just like blasting people in the face, and that's going to cause a tension between him and Peter. But at the end of the day, Punisher is there, and he's like, "I'm saving your ass. Isn't that obvious, kid?" And it seems like there might be some friction between Spider-Man and Punisher. This might revolve around Bruce. This might revolve around the villains, you know. But that seems to be a thing. But ultimately, I think Frank will be working with Peter. Maybe even they'll be working with Hulk, and they'll be teaming up against whoever the villain is and whatever they're trying to do. Okay. So main things on display: Hulk, huge part of this thing. That's really cool. Frank's a big part of this thing, and that's really cool. Now let's talk about Sadie Sink. So I'll start with what's in the trailer. I'll talk about what I've heard, and then I'll talk about how even Daniel RPK is starting to admit that the Shathra thing was likely misdirection. And by the way, as I've said a million times, I could be wrong about this. I have been wrong before. Guys, I can be wrong, okay? I will be wrong in the future. But I believe I am right about this. And I have reasons that I believe I am right about this, okay? So, she says in the trailer, the actual words, "Stay out of my way." Or no, she says, "You're a mess." She says, "You're a mess, Spider-Man. I think she literally says, your life is in shambles, Spider-Man. Stay out of my way, or it won't just be your friends who forget who Peter Parker is. So, couple of things going on here. People deadass watched this trailer and somehow thought Shothra was confirmed. Somehow thought Jean Grey was debunked by these fucking lines in the trailer. And I'm like, who are these people? Where did critical thinking go? What is happening, right? Because no, there's nothing in this trailer that supports Shothra in any way, shape, or form, other than maybe like she raises her hands and it looks like she gets a little dark or something. And people are like, oh, it's fucking Shothra, right? It's just, I think it's pretty silly. I actually think, and I don't know this to be true, but I actually believe that Sony and Marvel are literally sitting back and laughing their asses off. Guys, they've tricked you guys so much that y'all are making tweets with fucking Sadie Sink and red hair on one side and this like weird ass all black freaky looking Shakira character that nobody knows who the fuck she is. And you guys are literally doing side by sides. You're literally doing side by sides, and I think Marvel and Sony is laughing their ass off at you because it's so clear that she doesn't look like that motherfucker. And it's just so obvious that if you just look at the Sadie picture, and who's the most obvious character? It's fucking Jean Grey. Okay, so I don't know that to be true, but I'm telling you right now, I see these posts and I have a chuckle. I have a little chuckle. Because I'm like, who are these people holding up the fucking Shothra character to Sadie Sink and being like, yeah, dude, I see it. They're the same picture. Corporate wants you to know the difference, but it's the same picture. Like, it's insane to me. Okay, but anyway, let's talk about what she actually says in the trailer. First of all, she says, your life is in shambles, Spider-Man. How the fuck she know that? And you might be like, oh, because the weird-ass Shothra character is connected via the web of life and destiny and all that. Really? You think they're going to fucking explain it like that? They're going to be like, oh, actually, Sadie Sink is playing this hideous-looking hornet lady named Shakira, and she has a connection to that horrible movie called Madam Fucking Web. So therefore, she knows about Peter? Get the fuck out of here. You guys... I just think it's really funny, okay? So anyway, she knows that Peter's life is in shambles. How the fuck would she know that? First of all, then, how did she even know who he is? Nobody knows who this motherfucker is. And she knows? Oh, it's because Shakira's connected to the fucking Morbius movie and the Sydney Sweeney thing that made no money. Come on. No, it's way easier. She's a telepath. She can read his mind. The other clue is, what the fuck does she mean? It won't just be your friends who don't remember Peter Parker? Again, how does she even know that? But beyond that, how is Shakira gonna make people forget something? Shakira only has power via the web of life and destiny and via the spider totems. So how is Shakira going to shake her hips and get more people? She's threatening him. She's threatening that he won't even remember Peter Parker. That's what she's threatening. How could Shakira possibly do that? And then the other clue is, what do you mean she says, get out of my way? Guys, if the rumors were true about Shakira, she's not going after anybody but Peter Parker. Why would she say, get out of my way? It's right in front of your face. Okay, it's right in front of your face. Now, to be fair, let's tone the snarkiness down a little bit here. I actually completely understand why people don't believe it. I do. The reality is, this was done specifically to seem outlandish, to try to throw you off the scent. And on top of that, Marvel put out actual fake shit to get you guys to not believe what is going on. Okay? So I want to show you this. This is something that Daniel RPK just said either last night or today. He tagged everybody in his Discord, and he said, I have reason to believe the Shothra thing is intentional misdirection or misdirect leak from the set to confuse scoopers. I think she's someone else. Where have you heard that shit before? So, I'm not saying it's confirmed. I'm not saying it's 100%, but again, the same source that told me Sadie was Jean told me that trailer was real before a lot of these buttholes out here figured out that it wasn't AI. Okay? I believe the source. I believe the basic model that I've made and the reasons that I've come to this conclusion. Okay? So let's now talk about Jean Grey. Again, speculating. We're not sure. I'm pretty confident. You don't have to be, but let's just talk about it. Let's just consider that maybe it is Jean. Okay? So how would this work? Why would Jean be in the film and why would she be in the trailer this way? Well, there's a couple of things that are going on. So first of all, Alex Perez kind of hinted at the fact that Damage Control is basically creating anti-mutant tech, and they're starting to go after mutants, and they are actually going after Sadie's character because they believe she is a mutant. Okay, now, again, we don't know. That could be speculation, but that's what Alex is kind of teasing at, hinting at, etc., right? So there's, I think, just two basic options for Sadie as Jean. Okay? The one is that she knows way more than she's leading on, and that she is working for Doctor Doom. I have not had that confirmed from anybody, by the way, so we don't know. And I actually am starting to think that's probably not what it is. It could be, but I'm starting to think that's not what it is. It could be that, though, okay? So she's working for Doom. She's a variant of the Phoenix or Jean from either 616, the Prime Universe, some other branch reality. Maybe she's even Madeline Pryor and a clone. And she's here in the Sacred Timeline, and her job is to cause chaos. Okay? And one of the reasons I kind of think this is, so the Scorpion is apparently going to get out of prison, and part of how he's going to escape is a person that can control people's minds, Jean Grey, is going to get all the guards in the prison to let Scorpion out. And then Punisher and Peter are going to fight against those guards to try to keep Scorpion in. And I said when this leaked that, like, dude, that's not how Shothra's shit works. She can control drones. She can't actually mind control all of these prisoners or prison guards. Now, Marvel can do whatever they want. They can change the powers. But just Occam's razor, no. It's not Shakira. Okay? So maybe it's Jean, and she's really a Dark Phoenix or some kind of evil version of Jean. She's working for Doctor Doom and shit's going crazy. That is absolutely a possibility. The other possibility, and this I think is more likely, is that what she really is a variant of Jean on the Sacred Timeline that never got her powers the way she was supposed to because of He Who Remains. After the blip, her mutation did happen, and what we're looking at is Jean Grey, before being recruited by Charles Xavier, discovering her powers on her own and just trying to make her way in the world. That is absolutely possibly what it is. And the thing that's wild about this is, like, this right now, it seems like she's going to be in Brand New Day. There's something going on in Brand New Day. There's a mystery, so there's something crazy about it. Then this leads into Secret Wars because the trades confirm that Sadie is in Secret Wars, I believe, as fully explained Jean Grey or Madeline Pryor or whatever. Then we're going to do an MCU reset. And on the reset, basically the canon from the original version of the universe in which Jean was recruited, in which Jean did get her X-Gene when she was super young, all of that will be what has happened. And I think there could be sort of a reverse or a sort of flip on what's about to happen in Brand New Day with Jean when we get into the X-Men. Okay, so walk with me on this. This is really weird. I don't know if they'll do this, but it's kind of cool. So if Jean is the person that can actually remember who Peter is through mind control, and then we go into Secret Wars, and this plays in some way with the X-Men, the X-Domain, them working for Doom or some shit. We don't know. There's a lot we don't know about Secret Wars, let's be real. But all kinds of ways that could go down, right? Then we get into the Reset MCU. Well, what if Peter Parker is one of the only characters that remembers what Jean was doing before Secret Wars? And then Jean, in the Reset, reads Peter Parker's mind and discovers what was actually happening and the truth of what was going on in the multiverse. That's kind of crazy. That would be kind of wild. I don't know exactly how it's all going to fit together. But what I do know is Marvel is really working hard to make it all fit together. If the X-Men are starting to pop up in Spider-Man Brand New Day, I promise you it's not a fucking accident. It's not some break glass in case of emergency thing where they just want hype. They have the Punisher, the Hulk, and they have Tom Holland Spider-Man. They don't need any hype. What they're trying to do is use the hype of Spider-Man to establish the new MCU character, X-Men characters, people, dudes, and ladies. Don't you see? Can't you see? And the other thing is, like, Kevin basically fucking told us this. Kevin basically came out on stage and told us this. You will see familiar X-Men characters in the next few films. The story of the next Avengers movies is really important to the X-Men and setting up the future of the X-Men in the MCU. He said it. It's all out there. So, that's what I think is going on. And that, I think, is why Sadie is Jean. Technically, she'd be playing somebody that's not quite Jean now, but will be Jean in Secret Wars and in the Mutant Saga. And I know that's kind of a mind fuck, but it is true. Okay. Any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns? What? Chat, are you still there? Chat, what are you... Chat! Oh my God, I just opened up chat. It is flying catching up. I missed some supers. Holy. Okay, what do you guys think of this, man? What do you think of this? What's Jean's motivation for breaking Scorpion out of prison if she's not working for Doom to create chaos? She could be being manipulated by another person. She could be trying to get to the truth of something. There's something else that's going on where Jean may well be also attached to the multiverse in some way via maybe the White Hot Room, the Phoenix Force, etc. So there could be something going on where, like, she might want to break Scorpion out to read his mind, but maybe she can't get into prison. Remember, Damage Control is making anti-mutant stuff. They might have anti-telepath stuff. So I don't know. I'm speculating here, but yeah, there could be something to that, yeah. Wouldn't this be similar to an episode in the animated show called Iron Man Armored Avengers, where it portrayed Jean as a high school girl who met Iron Man and didn't know anything about her superpowers? Yeah, there's been many different versions of this, and yes, I think that's something like that. I think you're right. But who is the real villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day now, Josh? Who is the final villain? Who knows? You know, who knows? And we're speculating here, but yeah. Maybe Jean from Universe and Doomsday warns that this version of what is coming and what happens to the mutants. Yeah, absolutely. And look, when the Jean rumors were first popping off, right? Like, one of the things I thought about was like, okay, so if we look at Multiverse of Madness, then Stephen Strange is having all these nightmares, mostly because somebody's out there wiping out Stevens. And it was the Sinister Strange that we meet at the end of the film, right? He was out there killing his own variants. We're not really sure why. Maybe he's working for Doom, right? But what if that's happening to Jean? Okay, so let's just assume this is Prime Jean, but she's rewritten into 616 and she's like fucking nobody. She's just some kid, or she's, you know, whatever, right? And then all of a sudden, this nobody person starts having dreams, nightmares of versions of herself that are dying as the multiverse is collapsing. Maybe even versions of herself that have her full Phoenix Force power. And then it's like, okay, but what if the Phoenix Force itself, the White Hot Room, is trying to speak to Jean about something? Brother, there's so many different ways that this could be going, right? Ray Darko, 3585 says, what if Jean is working for Doom? Her job is to mind control Hulk and recruits him to work for Doom. Like, this is Prime Hulk. Dude, beautiful, perfect, wonderful. I mean, that could be it. I don't know that that's it, but that could absolutely be it. And I think that a lot of you guys are starting to wrap your head around how this could be going, okay? So, yeah, pretty interesting. Josh, can you read my super? Yeah, let me catch up on some of these supers here, guys. Sorry, I was in a zone. Yapping. I was yapping for my life. MCU is clearly X-Men focused now. Jean Grey comes to warn Peter about Doomsday. Only thing that makes sense. Something like that could work, man. Rossi, thank you for the rose. Kaylin says, is Sadie Jean before she meets Charles Xavier? So I bet there's some buttholes out there that know what's going on and are being super pedantic about it and being like, technically she's not Jean Grey until she becomes actual Jean Grey. So fuck you, Josh. She's not Jean Grey in the fucking blah, 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 blah. Yeah, maybe. But it's not Shakira either. My God. There was also a leak that Sadie Sink's character was playing the multiverse. I could see that meaning she's the multiversal element in the story. Yeah, absolutely, that could be it. And I've spoke to that. I think there's something there, yeah. Why would Marvel be so secretive about Shakira? Totally. It doesn't make any sense. So one fat, sweaty nerd in the audience can get a kick out of a big reveal. Nobody knows Shakira. Exactly, yeah. Vessel's vocal. Appreciate you, brother. Corey says, do we know her parents are? Maybe she's related to Scorpion. The phase theme looks to be fatherhood, family. Thoughts? There could be something to that, but I think she's doing much more than just trying to break Scorpion out. So I think there's layers to it, yeah. What if Josh is playing Sadie Sink, who's playing Jean Grey? There you go. Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. Jean could be trying to get Hulk to become Maestro for Doom. I've thought about that, yeah. I have thought about that, yeah. Spiders have 3 life cycles. Yes, that's in there, yeah. It's a good trailer, man. Like, it's a really good trailer. Doom was too powerful for He Who Remains to delete, so he became Stark. Jean was too powerful to delete as well, so she became No One. That could be what attracted Doom to her and explains her anger. Something like that could be going on. Yeah, absolutely. But how would Hulk and Spider-Man fight the Phoenix? Isn't she OP? Oh, yeah, no, they would just lose, bro. They would just lose. Unless Peter gets a little power boost via like the Omega Force or the Omni Force or something like that, yeah? Or maybe a symbiote? I don't know. Symbiote arc should be 2 movies. Secret Wars and then the sequel to Brand New Day. I like that. That would be cool. Doom is working for Tombstone, confirmed. That would be kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. I definitely don't think this version of Jean will be Phoenix yet. So you're probably right, but if the multiverse is collapsing, there's actually not a lot of good hosts for the Phoenix left. So I think there could be something to that. I think there could be something going on there, yeah. Miles' entry, it will be in the post-credit scenes. Watch. I'm not so sure about that. I think Miles is being saved for after Secret Wars in the reset. What if our DJ is playing a dude who's playing another dude who's playing another dude? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Click Clack says, I heard a leak that Clark would live in a trailer park in the next Gunn Superman movie, and I'm just wondering how would Supes get a trailer? God damn it! You had me in the first half. There. Okay, any other questions here about Genie, about any of that sort of stuff? Did you say Star Wars is back? No, I didn't say that. You must have misheard me. Yeah, I want to talk about the Thor stuff, and then we'll talk about maybe Doom. Maybe a Doom leak is imminent. Maybe. Any other thoughts here, guys? Which, by the way, I could be wrong. I keep saying this. I'm just trying to be as clear as possible. I feel very strongly she's Jean. I think I understand what's going on. By the way, I think if Daniel walks it back today, the Shothra thing, it's because I made it known. I don't think if Daniel walks the Shothra thing back today, it's because he's pissed that I quote tweeted something from his Discord and I'm going to get hundreds of thousands of impressions off of it. Just know that. Noxid says, I'd like to see Peter and Jean have a relationship. Screw cuck clubs? No. Scotty Summers needs his shine. Holy shit, bro. No. I love you, Axid, but just don't, son. Just rewatched Fan 4. And I can't get over the line Reed says that he doesn't dream or wonder if he's defending his mind, passively contemplating the horrific. Yeah, there could be something to that. I don't know. I mean, I hope there's more depth. I hope there's more stuff to that. Yeah, here's the hoping on that for sure. Russo's leaked the trailer to Soups. He was at Agbo. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but it kind of seems that way, doesn't it? He just walked it back. He's so fucking predictable, dude. This dude is super predictable, dude. He literally just did. What a punk ass. Yeah. No, I mean, he's so predictable. It's okay. I'm not saying that he doesn't have good info. He has info. But, yeah. Josh, if Jeff Snyder got Sadie Jean right, maybe he got Tremel Kang right, too. Now you're thinking. Okay, let's see here. Kalen says, I missed his chat. What if Mr. Sinister is behind the Department of Damage Control and he's trying to control Jean for some reason, setting up the next big villain? That would be lit, bro. I don't see that, but maybe that could be really cool, dude. That could be really cool. Yeah. Trem is deaf Kang. I mean, we don't know deaf anything, right? But I think so. Yeah. Instead of Maestro Hulk, we're gonna get Matcha Hulk. No. I mean, hey, we could have Matcha Hulk so long as Maestro Hulk shoves the matcha up his ass in full 4K. Blazing Comics says, Josh, what if Jean Grey is Black Swan for Doom? Something like that could be going on. Yeah, there could be something like that. Yeah. Okay, I think we're good on that. There's plenty of other stuff to get into, guys. I want to talk about Thor. So let's end this one here on Spider-Man. Look, the Spider-Man trailer is dope, dude. Either way, maybe she's not Jean Grey. Maybe she's Shakira, like Daniel RPK is now claiming. But either way, this movie looks lit, dog. This movie looks fun, bro. Like the action looks cool. You know, what we've seen from the set photos, the suit looks awesome. You know, it's a shame Zendaya's going to be making out with those two tennis twink dudes in front of Peter. But hey, we don't get everything we want, but it does look cool. It's going to be a good movie. All right, let's see what this Jay Shep says, Endgame old Cap can't be post-Secret Wars because post-Secret Wars will be Earth Prime 2. Steve can't be there. Earth Prime was before Phase 1 that we didn't see. You're not getting, interesting thought. I don't know if I should comment on that. I just think there's more to it. But maybe you're right. Bro, if we really get a Maestro Hulk, then I would start buying socks in the sock companies. Yeah, for sure. Question, Josh, if Sadie is Jean, what storyline or comic issue do you think they'll be adapting for the X-Men movies? And is it true that Wolverine... Yeah. So I've heard Wolverine won't be a big part of it. I think he could cameo in it maybe, but I don't think he's going to be a part of it. What's my understanding of it is, after Secret Wars, it's not that we get the Prime Universe back. Okay, so I'll just say it. I don't think we're getting the Prime Universe back. But what you're going to get is the Sacred Timeline with events from the Prime Universe that included the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Venom, all of these different things. The funny thing about this is, like, dude, Paul from Heavy Spoilers had this shit 3 years ago. And I remember when he said they're thinking about Tom Hardy's Venom coming into the actual MCU, and he described it as a consolidated universe. And like, he was right. We just watched a video that Grace put out 2 years ago after the Marvels, and she basically said the same thing. So I think what's going to happen is all the events from the Sacred Timeline, at least the good ones, they're all going to stay in the canon. But what will be added to the canon is the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Venom, Spider-Man, Doctor Doom. So it'll be like Battle of New York happened. Maybe the Iron Man there, the Tom Cruise, maybe it was Tom Cruise. But it happened. Civil War happened. The Sokovia Accords happened. Like, all these things happened. So, yeah, that's kind of like my understanding of it. So it'll be a universe that combines the Prime Universe characters with maybe like setting the characters back, but it will keep the canon. Does that make sense? Also, can I throw a speculative scene out to you guys? So I don't even know if I should say this, but fuck it, we balled, man. We're about to talk about Thor and all that cool shit. We're going to talk about Doctor Doom and all that cool shit. Let me pitch a scene to you guys, okay? Post-credit scene of Secret Wars. We're at Avengers Tower. Tony Stark is back. There's a knock at the door. Pepper, or maybe Morgan, opens the door, and Robert Downey Jr.'s Victor Von Doom answers the door. Then our new Iron Man, maybe Tom Cruise, maybe somebody else, enters the room, comes to the door, puts his hand around his daughter and his wife, and says, Victor, I didn't expect that you'd accept the invitation. And Victor says something to the effect of like, you know, I was just making sure everything's okay over here. And then he leaves. Do you understand the scene? Do you understand it? Do you get why this might happen? It's just speculation. It's just speculation. It's just speculation. And it's not the best line, okay? I just pulled this shit out of my ass. What do you want? What do you want? But that shit's real. Anyway, okay, moving on. No, it's speculation. It's speculation. But like, do you really not understand it? Do you not get it? All right, anyways, let's talk about Thor, baby. It's the eye of the Feige, and we gonna be all right. Evan's back, so is Downey and the Russos. Things got so fucking bad, they won't point out they're all white. And he'll edge us with trailers, the eye of the Feige. Okay. Holy banana nut muffin on a Sunday morning. I already thought it was insane to get a leaked trailer for Doomsday, the first official trailer for Doomsday with Mr. Steve Rogers and his son leaking out. But we got the second one as well. What the fuck? So here we go. This happened yesterday during the most insane day of leaks for Marvel, maybe in a long, long time. Audio for the Thor trailer leaked out online and was quickly confirmed to be real. So let's go through this description and let's talk about this because it's dope, but there's also plenty of speculation to be had here, okay? So, leaks from Avengers, Doomsday, and Spider-Man Brand New Day are quickly spreading online. First, there was a leak of the teaser trailer featuring Steve Rogers. Now there's one for Thor. Here's everything you need to know. It was revealed earlier this week that there will be 4 teaser trailers for Avengers Doomsday set to release in the coming weeks. Feature First was able to confirm that Steve Rogers, Thor, and Doctor Doom would be 3 of the characters getting their own teasers. Now it seems Thor has leaked onto the internet. We can't share the audio at this time, but we can share the audio description. The trailer features Thor speaking the whole time, uninterrupted. There's a slightly melancholic music score playing alongside the dialogue. Due to the quality of the audio, it's quite hard to hear exactly what is being said, but here's a couple of different interpretations. So it says here, of all the crowns, the kingdoms, the pride, I ask for none. Father, hear your son. I'm not worthy of life, but still I beg you to let the thread run long. I think is what he actually says. Not for thunder, not for war. Let me remain long enough to see my love once more. And there's another version here that says, I've bled the crowns for realms, for pride. I ask for none of that now. Father, hear your son. I am not worthy of life, but I beg you to let the thread run longer. Not for thunder, not for war. Let me stand long enough to see love laugh more. Or yeah, so people, I think it's more like this first one here. And what it is in reference to is this character here, right? So this is the character named Love. By the way, that's Chris Hemsworth's actual daughter there. And she's named Love. And this is the sort of child of Gore that gets brought back to life by Eternity. There's something weird about her. She has that weird Eternity energy, as there was the reflection, and she's very powerful, right? So this is Thor's adopted daughter. And the line, which, like, I think this is the line. Let me just pull this up. I think this is the line. Because the shit goes hard, dude. Oh, no, somebody deleted it? Okay, this is what I think it is. It says, of all the crowns, the realms, the pride, I ask for none of them. Father, hear your son. I am not worthy of life, yet I beg you to let the thread run long. Not for thunder, not for war. Let me stand long enough to see my love once more. And again, that's the line, and you got to hear the audio. It's probably out there somewhere, and you'll see the trailer soon attached to Avatar and publicly released. It's the way the music goes. It's the way that lines are delivered. And I think the accompanying visuals, which are described as Thor praying, maybe even on his knees, it's just working for me, frankly. And it seems really badass. When you hear the way the line was delivered, it's incredible. Gave me chills. And a couple of different things going on here, okay? Number one, Doom's got this dude shook. And I'm telling you, I don't think this is the first time they're going to face down in the movie. And in fact, right now, there's a rumor. A lot of people are spreading this, and it's coming from enough channels that I'm like, dude, is this shit real? Is this shit real? But there is a rumor that in this scene, Thor is going to be missing an arm, or rather probably have a metal arm, okay? Now, to be fair, it might not be in the trailer. And this is something I've been trying to bring up a lot. But remember that the Russos hide things in the trailer. Okay? So they probably shot this scene with Hemsworth. And in the scene, he probably had one of those blue sleeves on or whatever. And they probably did a version where he just has both of his arms. But totally possible that in this scene where he is praying, he has already lost an arm. And he probably lost an arm to Victor Von Doom. Probably a part earlier on where he tried to step up and he had to sit the fuck down. You know what I mean? Which would explain why he's so shook praying to Odin, praying to the gods, and at this somewhat desperate place. Like, it really does feel kind of desperate. But again, you might not see that in the trailer because the Russos are very good at hiding stuff through visual effects and also through unfinished visual effects when it comes to their content, their trailers, etc. Right? So, but that's kind of a fun rumor, right? Like, oh shit, like, dude, y'all, are we gonna see fucking Thor get his arm ripped off by Doom? Wow. Okay, so that's really, really cool. And of course, it's just badass in general that Doom has him so shook that he's praying to the gods and that he's saying all of this. Now, there is also obviously a component here with regards to the love child. Now, the current rumors are that this character, Love, and probably via her connection to eternity, she will start to know that the multiverse is collapsing. She might even be getting sick as the multiverse is dying, right? Which I think could be happening to Jean as well. But this could be a thing where this Love character becomes aware of the dying multiverse, or is made aware of the dying multiverse because of something that's happening to her. And it does seem like that's going to be the catalyst for Thor to know what's going on. And also, he has this love of this child. Now, this echoes what is in Steve Rogers' trailer, because Steve had a child. And I think, and I'm going to do a whole video on this. I got a script written, and I'm going to do like a 25+ minute video explaining why Doomsday is really about all of these children. And it has to do with Doom. And it has to do with how Doom might view this shit differently than these other characters. And I think the bittersweet part is I think they're all going to fucking lose, man. I think they want to fight for their kids. I think a lot of old MCU fans like myself now have kids. I think Kevin has kids now. He might have had them even towards the end of the Infinity Saga run, but a lot of us have kids. You know, the older MCU crowd, the older MCU actors, just in general, now have kids. And so I think there's an effort to connect this real life thing that's happening for a lot of us to the stories. But I also think it's meant to show why these characters would fight so hard for a fake ass universe. Like, real talk, why would they fight so hard for a fake ass universe? Because of their family. And that was set up with Tony. I'm pretty sure this idea with Tony was something set up a while back and something that they understood was going to be important. And I think Tony telling Steve that he's got a second chance right here, and it's his daughter. Yeah, I think that's a pretty big deal. I think that's pretty indicative of what's going on with the story when it comes to Thor. And this is another reason why people believe that Thor is going to be like a second lead of the movie, that Thor's arc in here is going to be really, really important. I'm hoping that Thor is very powerful, very badass. But again, I kind of think it's not going to be enough, dude. And maybe this is a way for us just to really get mad at Doctor Doom. Because let's be honest, a lot of us are going to be cheering for Doctor Doom. I certainly am. But maybe this is their way of being like, well, what if Doctor Doom kills all these kids? You like the Avengers have kids. So what if Doctor Doom kills all these kids? Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that would maybe make us a little bit mad at RDJ's Doctor Doom, okay? So I think that's kind of what's going on here. Now, one other thing on this, and then we'll open it up for discussion, see what you guys are saying about it. One must wonder if this is a new setup for new Young Avengers. Because, look, Kevin's been obsessed with giving the Avengers kids, and that's been so obvious. Hulk has a kid, Tony has a kid, Ant-Man has a kid, freaking Clint has kids. Like, they all have kids, okay? And so that's always been a thing. Like, he was setting this up, and I think he was trying to connect it to the Young Avengers. And to be real with you, this is a better way to pass the baton. And I do wonder if Steve Rogers remains, if Tony Stark remains, if all these characters remains, are the children going to remain? Are the children going to be a part of what is next for Marvel in the Mutant Saga or not? I'm not really sure, but you can kind of see the pattern of how they tried to establish that. They gave everybody kids, and now they're doubling down on them having kids. Some of them, like Thor, it's not even his real kid. I mean, technically it is his real kid, but it's not his character's kid. Pretty interesting, right? Pretty interesting. So, with all of that said, what do you make of this Thor trailer? What do you make of Thor's role in the film? What do you make of these children being a part of the plot? What do you make of all of this, chat? Let me know. Let me know. Doom already killed his own kid and then took his power, apparently. I mean, that's a rumor. We don't know for sure, but it would kind of make sense, wouldn't it? They're bringing back the 3 OGs. Yes, I think so. Campia brought up something interesting. Who is Steve Rogers' kid? If that's the 40s, who does the kid grow up to be in 616? If old Steve returns, his kid follows the same methodology. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Well, what if it's Bucky? What if, because he names the kid James after Bucky. But what if there is no Bucky in the sacred timeline because He Who Remains removed it? And so Steve gives himself a Bucky. That's his own son in the sacred timeline. And I'll tell you one scene that would make a lot more sense if that's what it was. And that's the scene after Steve goes on the time platform. Because after Steve goes on the time platform, the only one not surprised is Bucky. And the one that points out where his father, or old man Steve, is actually at is Bucky. I'm not saying that's what it is. I don't know what it is. But it's quite interesting that Mr. Campy is starting to think about that too, huh? Yeah, pretty interesting. I don't know. There's plenty of theories to be had. There's plenty of fun. There's plenty of speculation. There's plenty of stuff to happen. I'm not saying that's what it is. I am not saying that's what it is. I'm saying it's a fun theory. You guys are like, bro, lay off the weed pen. That shit is crazy. Dude, we'll see. We shall see. Bucky was born in 1917? Was he, though? I don't see a panel to shot recreation of the Thor and Hyperion scene, but with Loki. Dude, I see. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. Something like that would be really fun, yeah. I'm giving myself a Bucky right now. What the fuck? Too complex or easily digestible slop fest. We'll see. We'll see. So Doom kidnaps Love to be Eternity for Battleworld. Something like that could be going on, yeah. But is she really Eternity, or is she just an aspect of Eternity? Supergirl, woo! Marvel for life. Yeah, dog. Supergirl fans got it rough right now. Holy. I love you, but you're bringing me down. I'm sorry. I don't mean to bring you down. I'm just having fun up here. How many flannels do you own? Just 2. I rotate them. Bro missed my super chat. Okay, jeez. Let me get to the super chats. Jeez. What if all their kids are mutants? That would be kind of interesting. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Let's see here. AC433A. Appreciate you, brother. It says, just joined today. Watch your vids before and since the Marvel rejuvenation. Big up. Doom. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger. Now, D Murdoch says, hey, much love, Josh. Hope you and the fam have a great Christmas. Glad to catch you before the new year. First stream I've been able to catch in 6 months. D Murdoch, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for stopping in today and dropping that super, brother. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good holiday season as well, man. Hope you're having a good holiday season as well. Let's see here. So how are they going to go around that Tony invented time travel to make Doom more of a threat? Oh, well, there's something there. I'm not sure how they'll do it, but there's something there for sure. I actually don't need a haircut. You guys think I probably need a haircut, but I don't need a haircut. Like I can go another week and then I'll need a haircut. So I'll probably get one in like 3 weeks. Grace Randolph called her Supergirl of the Galaxy. Yeah, it's bad, bro. I mean, I know there's DC fans out there that want to pretend it's not bad. It's bad, dude. Your shit has become a lol cow. Supergirl looks to be a lol cow. I'm not seeing a lot of people defending it. And even the usual suspects that are like very supportive of DC, let's say, even they're not really feeling that shit. Pull up the new Cosmic Wonder article. We can pull up the new Cosmic Wonder article. I guess let's end this segment here on the Thor trailer. Any other thoughts on Thor trailer? Any other thoughts on Thor trailer before we get on out of here? Jeremiah Noble says, could you see a scene where Doom rounds up all the kids and kills them in front of the Avengers? He needs to be ruthless. That would be fucking crazy, dude. That would be wild. Read my thought. Okay, ready? I actually did have wings last night. Thank you, though. Yeah, Supergirl trailer was extremely disappointing. Yeah, it really was. And I want the movie to be good, and hopefully it can be good and better. But, bruh, that's a terrible trailer. That was ass. That shit was ass. Isn't that what the Penguin did in Batman Returns? What? But if Steve is Rogers and Bucky is Barnes, how does that work? Oh, so they would just name them differently. Doom, da doom, doom, doom. Okay. Let's call it there on the Thor thing. I think we'll get more answers soon. I'm very excited to watch all of these trailers in the theaters, to be honest. But yeah. Campius mate Robert Meyer Burnett thinks Steve Kidd is Professor X. I mean, that's fucking wild. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild, bro. That's pretty wild over there. I love that energy, though. Hey, I'm glad they're over there getting crazy with it, you know? Let's see here. Sash, appreciate you, brother. Says, so theory, Doom collecting Nexus beams, right? Franklin, Love, America, Wanda, Sadie. This is how become God Emperor. It could absolutely be something like that, yeah. Something like that could be going on, yeah. You might be onto something. Love's Uncle Ben keeping her alive. Wait, what? Leaked bootleg 420p trailers doing more numbers and gain more interest in the Supergirl trailer. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Not trying to spam. Not sure if you saw my reminder to look at the Cap scoop. Oh, thank you, brother. Let me see. Is that on the Discord? Oh, the scene from teaser 1 from the mid-act, we get a time jump. His children are grown up. What? This shit wild. Hang on now. The scene from the teaser trailer is from the mid-act. We then get a time jump. Much older Steve with a beard, looking nomad. His children are grown up, 10 to 15. His son is named James, and he will be an adult by the end of Secret Wars. Also, what I heard is that there's a Captain America daughter variant. She has black tactical suit with a triangular-shaped shield, and she has an eagle on the middle. Wow. That's like Sharon, probably. Sharon Rogers, or maybe Crusade? Dude, wow. Wow, wow, wee wow. Man, I tell you what, that movie we watched back earlier this year with the members, with all the like kids of the Avengers, I think there's something there, man. I do. I think there's something there. Soul Jacker. I like that name. I hope Doomsday doesn't hold anything back. I'm still sad we didn't get to see Xander get destroyed at the Power Stone and Infinity War restore the Snyderverse. Yeah, I hear you there, brother, and thanks for the super chat. I want it to go hard, too. I think it's going to go hard. But here's what I would ask. What is more dark? Doom killing all of these other children? Or Doom revealing that he killed his own? Yeah. Holy shit, Alex Perez confirms Tremel Tillman as head of damage control. Oh, yeah? That's interesting. That's kind of interesting. Why not both? Why not both? Yeah. Wow. Oh. Time jumps, huh? I mean, I guess it makes sense with Loki and all that. How much do you think Spider-Man will make? Dude, it's looking like that shit's going to crack $1 billion. This is crazy. That trailer is amazing. Just Spider-Man, Hulk, and all these villains. Punisher. Dude, I think they're cooking. If they really have Sadie as Jean in there, my God. My God. If Love dies with the multiverse because she is eternity, then Loki has been keeping her alive since Loki season 1. Loki dies, Thor prays. Yeah. Something like that. You could be onto something there. Okay, should we read this article, this Alex Perez article, and then we're going to get on out of here, guys, okay? Spider-Man trailer out. Well, it leaked. I don't think it's out officially, okay? Let's see here. The Cosmic Circus. Okay, we're over here on the CosmicCircus.com. And this is an article just released by Alex Perez. A lot of people in chat were hollering about this, so credit to them, credit to Alex, and we'll go over this and see what I make of it. Exclusive. Department of Damage Control is becoming Marvel's most dangerous department, and it's not just cleanup anymore. Hey there, everyone. It's been a minute since I've dropped one of these, huh? Well, in today's new exclusive, we're going to be discussing a group that I've been looking into since 2022, the Department of Damage Control. Today, I've got some new information about DODC and what role they'll have to play in the MCU going forward. Since their introduction in 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming, the agency has been lurking in the background as a fail-safe cleanup crew and tech storage agency under the command of Tony Stark, who acquired it in 2012 following the events of the Battle of New York in the Avengers film. Since Tony's death in Avengers Endgame, the Department of Damage Control has shifted its focus from being a simple cleanup crew to an agency dedicated to interrogating and detaining meta-enhanced individuals like Peter Parker, Kamala Khan, Jennifer Walters, and coming soon, Simon Williams. Speaking of, let's start with one. Exclusive! Much like in Spider-Man No Way Home, Ms. Marvel, and She-Hulk Turning at Law, the Department of Damage Control will play an antagonistic presence in Marvel Studios' next spotlight presentation, Wonder Man. This is spearheaded by the return of Agent P, this freaking guy, who will be leading the investigation into Simon Williams. Agent clearly believes Simon Williams is a danger to the community and will use any method necessary to get close enough to prove it, even using Simon's closest allies to spy on him. Since his last appearance in Ms. Marvel, he has been hard at work attempting to repurpose the DODC into an agency that hunts down superpowered individuals they consider threats to society. They use technology and weapons they've kept in storage over the years to repurpose them as their own. Sponsored by Stark Industries. According to sources, the DODC has expanded their search beyond the usual superheroes we have seen in the movies and shows, and have actually begun taking individuals who have shown superhuman or meta abilities behind the scenes. These individuals are being placed in damage control Supermax prison, where they can be monitored and even experimented on without any jurisdiction or oversight. According to sources, we are expected to see the facility again in Wonder Man, where their ultimate goal will be to apprehend Simon Williams and lock him up there. But the question still lingers, why has the DODC shifted its focus since Tony Stark died in Endgame? And who exactly is responsible for this new direction? Well, buckle up, because we may just have our answer. Oh, this shit gonna get spicy, dog. Exclusive number 2. Enter Tramell Tillman, the new face of Damage Control. In August 2025, actor Tramell Tillman has confirmed to be joining the MCU in a key role in Spider-Man Brand New Day. However, details of said role were kept under wraps until now. I will remind you that Jeff Snyder, who has a lot of stuff before other people have it, said that Tillman was coming back as Kang. That's what he had heard. Now, he said that was rumor, but he did say that. Let's keep going. According to sources, Tillman has been tapped to portray the new head of the Department of Damage Control. His role in the movie will be to lead an investigation by the DODC to apprehend new rogue metahumans they have been keeping an eye out for a while. The character in question is being portrayed by Sadie Sink. Sink's character will be under the protection of John Bernthal's Frank Castle, which will make him a person of interest in the Department of Defense, or the Damage Control's investigation as well, along with Bruce Banner and Spider-Man. Sources have also been able to confirm that the nature of Tillman's role in Brand New Day is not a one-and-done portrayal, and that he is expected to return in the future Marvel Studios projects, taking on a more prominent role in the next saga of the MCU, the Mutant Saga, which leads me to my third and final conclusion. Are you ready for the mutant shit? How is there even a fly in here? It's like -20 in here. That's not a real fly. That's Kevin Feige's little fly drone thing, and he's trying to take me out. Exclusive number 3. The Department of Damage Control will become the MCU's new anti-mutant enforcement agency. Wow. Come the next saga's debut in the coming years, after the premiere of Avengers Secret Wars, the Department of Damage Control will have completely reshifted its focus and transitioned from the Department of Damage Control to a new agency. Its focus will be to apprehend any superhuman seen to be using their powers by any legal authority or oversight, which in their eyes will be anyone who isn't on the Avengers. The agency will remain an antagonistic presence in the MCU, primarily against the X-Men in their upcoming movie and in forthcoming mutant-related solo projects. I do wonder if anything in the Spider-Man's movie could be setting that up at all. According to sources, the idea behind the storyline is to get the general public to fear superheroes and superpowered individuals, allowing the agency to secure federal funding, continue its experiments on them, and develop weapons to neutralize mutant threats. Wow, mutants! With a particular overarching storyline, Marvel Studios' goal, according to sources, is to utilize characters like Bolivar Trask, Sentinels, and Nathaniel Essex, aka Mr. Sinister, as recurring villains in their upcoming mutant-centric projects. What do you think of this news? Let us know on social media or on our Discord. Well, I think this news is pretty cool. Wow. Now, you want to get crazy? Should we get nuts? Let's get nuts. You guys want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. First question for chat. Does this make you believe the gene stuff more or less? I'm not saying it's real. I'm just asking you. Does this report make you believe the gene stuff more or less? How could it possibly make you believe it less? You're either like Sony Disney bots, or the public education system has failed even more than I realized. There needs to be like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Or you're trolling. So obviously, yes, it hints more that Jean would be involved. I mean, are you telling me that in the Spider-Man movie, the Department of Damage Control is going to be established as this force that's actually experimenting on people, experimenting on, enhanced people? They're going after Sadie Sink. They're going to be the main players that are anti-mutant in the next saga. Sadie Sink is confirmed for Secret Wars. Jeff Snyder said Sadie was... I mean, come on, man. Like, what? Come on, man. Come on. Again, that's not to say that it is confirmed. It's just to say that more evidence is mounting. I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, let's talk about Tillman. Well, if Kang had removed the mutants from the sacred timeline and his control of the sacred timeline was ended when Tony Stark died, then maybe Kang, or one of the Kangs, would try to establish control over the mutants on the sacred timeline. Doesn't that track? Doesn't that make sense? You know, there are many different times that Kang comes into stories like this, and I think Mr. Griffin was one of the things we thought they were going to do. In that story with Mr. Griffin, this guy is introduced and he buys the Stark Tower. Mr. Griffin buys the Stark Tower. He's later revealed to be a Kang variant. He comes into the timeline and he's trying to control everything. Kang's shtick is come into the timeline and try to mess with the Avengers. Okay? So, would it not make sense that a Kang variant or a version of Kang would come into the main timeline after losing control and do what? Try to take control of damage control. Why? Because it had all Victor Von Doom's technology. If you know, you know. And he's trying to control the thing that he was trying to control before, which was the mutants. Now, here's another thing that's crazy about this. Let's take it 6 layers deeper. What if this is a Kang that is working for Doctor Doom? Because it's probably pretty safe to say that Doom's going to take care of these Kangs. Okay? I'm imagining a scene like the post-credit scene for Quantum Mania where they're all in the thing and then Doom comes in and fucking wipes them all out, okay? But what if he doesn't wipe all of them out? What if he leaves one Kang behind? And what if he gets this Kang to go onto the sacred timeline and start messing with the mutants and Peter Parker and Hulk and these other really, really powerful Avengers as Doom is crafting his plan to recreate the multiverse? That could be pretty lit. That could be pretty lit. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, and he could just be a guy. He could literally just be an agent, and we would still be lucky to have him. I think Tillman is an incredible actor, and I think that either way, we're lucky to have him. But he said something recently that was pretty interesting. He said, "I want to portray a villain," and he said something like, "I want to portray a villain that the audience would feel bad for, have sympathy for," right? Well, all of a sudden, I mean, if this is a Kang that is subservient to the Doom above all dooms, if this is a Kang that was broken, if this is a Kang that's being puppeted, if this is a Kang that is afraid, I mean, he's, yeah, he's pretty powerful. Oh, it was Coleman Domingo that says that? Okay, so I did get that one wrong. Okay, it was Domingo that said that. Okay. Disregard that last part then. I think he could absolutely be Kang, man, and I think there's enough evidence to support that he's Kang. And the reality is, if you look at the scoop here from Alex and these exclusives, and you kind of go back to a lot of the stuff we said during the Spider-Man segment, I just think like, yeah, I think there's enough evidence to suggest that at least there's some weird shit going on here. And that means, yeah, it could be going crazy. Your Christmas tree is going to give me a seizure with that blinking. Yeah, sorry about that. It is a little crazy, huh? All right, any other thoughts here on this scoop from Alex? I mean, dude, Alex has continued to be on the money, man. You know, I think he's got really good sources, and I think he's doing a lot of fine reporting, and so, yeah, shout out to Alex. Shout out to Cosmic Circus. I hope he's Kang so we can actually get a good adaptation in the future. Yeah, I would want more of that as well. And I think Kang is like a cool piece of the Marvel canon. I don't know that he ever should have been the focus of a phase or like the focus of the Multiversal Saga. But given where everything is at now, like I think, yeah, I think more Kang would not be bad. Especially because, let me just do one, can I just do one more thing? Can I just say one more thing that's kind of wild? I mean, Kang uses celestial tech, right? You guys know that. Apocalypse uses celestial tech. Kang uses celestial tech. I think that's pretty obvious. But the fact that the celestial tech might have been what he used to literally like change the timelines and stuff, that's a little bit interesting. And I think there's more maybe to that. We've heard that the next saga, although mutant focused, will deal with celestials, deal with the cosmic, deal with maybe a nihilist. Like there's something big going on. And I would say that maybe just like with Endgame, they didn't get out clean and it created the issues and problems that like they focused on in the saga and was ultimately paid off in the next big Avengers movies. I wouldn't be surprised if like getting out of Secret Wars isn't exactly clean either, and something's going on with like celestials or dark forces or something cosmic, maybe even connected to Kang, celestial tech, maybe Apocalypse. Like there could be something there, because we've heard they want to do Apocalypse, right? So could be they could be cooking with that. Yeah. Dog, I just peeped that Spider-Man trailer. Oh my god, yeah, it's incredible. It is incredible. How many villains are in Brand New Day? Enough villains is the answer, or yes. Let's see here. Rockpocalypse, hell yeah, dude. Did I hear that the new No Way Home trailer could be attached to Anaconda? Yes, I think that's the plan currently, but I think they might even move it up. Marvel is so back. Dude, that's what I'm saying is like, Marvel, if all of this is true and it's all going the way that I think it is, they literally fix their problems. They fix their problems. They're delivering stuff to fans. They're doing it. Unfortunately, a lot of bullshit happened, and even over this year, as we'll talk more about on Friday, not everything this year was a winner. In fact, there's a lot of stuff I didn't even watch this year. But while that was going on, which was stuff put into production years ago, like Lizzie Olsen came out and said she recorded her lines for Zombies 3 years ago. Maybe it was 2 years ago, but I think she said 3 years ago. That's why we got all this slop in 2025 as they're fixing shit, right? It's like turning the Titanic around. It's actually very hard to do that. Zombies was dope. I know people liked it, but yeah. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Warhammer 40K? Yeah, should we talk a little Warhammer? You guys want to talk a little Warhammer? Should we talk a little Warhammer? I'll talk a little Warhammer. Here's what I'll say about Warhammer, okay? Just relax. Just relax a little bit. Let me tell you, just real quick. Number one, since we have more people in here, I made a video yesterday that is explaining Warhammer lore for Marvel Comics fans. It uses all Marvel Comics concepts, Marvel Comics terms, to explain the Warhammer lore. It's a fantastic video. Please go watch it. Somebody link it into the chat. If you're Warhammer curious and you're a Marvel fan, you need to watch this fucking video. Watch it twice and you're going to be into Warhammer, okay? Second thing, okay? I'll make this brief since y'all getting butthurt. I'm playing Warhammer again tonight. I'm playing my Custodes. I have an incredible new list. They just got some points changes. Oh my God, bro. I cannot wait to get my golden boys out there and be slaying the Emperor's enemies tonight. It is an absolutely incredible list. I'll take some pictures and some screenshots. I'll share on the Discord. I'll let you guys know how it goes, because tonight, the golden boys return. And I'm so excited. Could you possibly stream/record one of your Warhammer games? We've done that in the past. We'll do that in the future. In fact, I think Adam, maybe let's try to play maybe over the weekend or something. And then maybe the next time we play, we could stream it. I want Warhammer, but not with my Marvel. I understand. And look, Marvel's cooking right now. Don't get me wrong. Golden Shower, what the fuck? Sweet, thanks. Yeah, hell yeah. Midhammer, you don't say that, man. Josh gonna get his kids Warhammer figures and paint for Christmas. Dude, I already got Liam. I bought him the little Tyrannid stuffed thing, and then I bought him another stuffed Warhammer thing. So yeah. Convince me that the warp is just what our world takes, the path of the darkest timeline. Well, the warp isn't inherently dark, but it has dark forces there because there's so much dark stuff going on with, like, you know, humanity, the Eldar, etc. Palome, appreciate you, brother. 10 spot. Thank you, man. Says, still watching your past live stream up till now. I'm at the 2-hour video MCU multiverse. I can't believe those trailer leaks. Marvel needs to tighten it up. Their camp. Even on tough days, I'm rooting for you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, look at that Warhammer vid that Carl shared. Y'all should be watching that shit. It's good. Hey, it's pretty good, man. We cooked on that one. Thank you, man. And yeah, look, we've been getting a lot of support lately, and I really appreciate it. This is just the beginning. You know, I've been saying this for a while, but the next 2 years are going to be really crazy for us over here. There's a lot of fun, nerdy things happening, but really, the 2 Avengers movies are like the catalyst, right? I mean, we're a year away from Doomsday. We're already having so much fun. We haven't seen shit for action. I hope the 4th trailer has some action. But even if it doesn't, like, they're going to let that linger. Next year, we'll get an action trailer. We'll get all this stuff going on, man. Oh, man. A lot of fun stuff going on. And then right around when Secret Wars comes out, I would imagine the Warhammer show is going to start coming out, and everybody's going to be like, dude, Josh, you were right about this too. Everybody's like, dude, you were right about Jean Grey. Oh my God, you were right about Warhammer. It's the fucking best. This shit is awesome. Henry Cavill, let's go. So can't wait for that too. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What do you think the 4th trailer is? Oof. Okay, so the hope is that it's like an action trailer. Okay, and right now, the current rumors are Steve, Thor, and Doom. That those are the main character-focused ones. I think it's either the fact that the 4th one is also Doom, or it's a full-on trailer. Okay, and this is actually a great question because I think the 4th trailer is an actual trailer. And that would explain why there were all these leaks. Like, you know, Chris Gore was saying this, that, second and third. Harloff was saying this. Campy was saying that. There were a lot of rumors to suggest that there was an actual trailer. And then when we heard there's 4 trailers, like, that was weird because we were like, wait a minute, 4 trailers? That's wild. Well, it's really not 4 trailers. It's 1 trailer and 3, like, scenes that are technically teaser trailers. Teases. But they're scenes. So that, if that's the rollout where it's like scene, holy shit action, my God. That will be very exciting. And we will have a lot to talk about if that's what happens. But we'll see. It could just be all scenes. Not sure. The 4th trailer should be Doom killing Gaia, Red Scarab, She-Hulk, etc. Cinema. Absolute cinema. Avatar just getting the full trailer? I don't know. Beast is in Vision Quest, apparently. Where's that coming from, brother? Alex says less than an hour for a huge reveal. How huge are we talking here? Because I got to go eat some food. Okay? I got to go eat some food. I got to go work on some videos, and then I got to get ready for Warhammer tonight. Huge. Greg is here. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. That would be hilarious and satisfying. How huge are we talking here? How huge are we talking there? Hey, bro, hope you're doing amazing. Thank you, brother. I hope you're doing well, too. More than enough time? Yeah, no, there's more than enough time to go get some food and then maybe be back ready. I mean, I don't know. What is it? It depends on what it is. If it's like a 8, 9, or 10 out of 10 crazy, I'll go live again. Josh, you need to set up a little kitchen griddle stove next to there so that you can just make eggs while you stream. Jeez. You guys would fucking chain me to this stream if you could. You guys would just chain me to this fucking stream. You know? Yesterday, so many of you guys were like, dude, go live, you know? And luckily, I'm really stubborn. I probably should have went live, to be honest, but I was just like, you know. Leaks on purpose, full trailer at Avatar. Yeah, there could be something like that. Yeah, it could be something like that. What is the present day in the canon of Warhammer right now? It's either the 41st or the 42nd millennia. To be honest with you, the time charts are so bad that they're not even fully sure. Like when Gilliman comes back to life, he's like, yo, what is the star date? And he gets like different answers. So they're not even sure 100%. And it's because they're so like authoritarian and dysfunctional that their records are like terrible. They can't keep good records. So when's your boy Lehman Russ coming back? I mean, I think Valrak's probably right. I would say in 11th or at the very end of 10th, like the Lion did. Yeah. Nathan, right on, man. She isn't small enough character to be a normal Spider-Man character because why would they hide that this much? I mean, I agree. I think there's a lot of logical reasons to believe that like the Shakira thing is bullshit. But hey, you know, I've said it a million times, guys. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. Okay? It's not like Kevin Feige himself told me he wouldn't do that. He would lie to my face. So I have to, you know, do the best I can. What do you think about Tillman being the real Nathaniel Richards and having the other Kangs be versions of Timely's, and that would set up time? I mean, that feels like kind of like a harsh, underhanded retcon, right? That kind of feels like when Kevin said the Kang actor in that interview, and you're like, damn. But hey, I don't know, maybe. What are you drinking on Friday? So I want to start with something that's like a spiked hot cocoa or something with some Baileys. You know, we'll start kind of light. Then we move into maybe like a tequila drink of some kind, you know, and then, yeah, I don't know. Ooh, a White Russian, a Christmassy White Russian with like peppermint or something. Oh, whoo. Josh, your tree is giving me seizures. I'm sorry. The tree's actually using Morse code to tell the truth about all the leaks and stuff. So if you go back through the stream and look at how the light was blinking, you'll find it a Morse code readout of the truth. Yeah, can you imagine people being like, hey, dude, Sadie Sink, huge, fucking Stranger Things, so cool. Let's make her Shakira the ugly-ass wasp creature. To be fair, Marvel's done shit like that before, though. To be fair, Marvel has fucked shit up like that before. So, hey, maybe it is that. All the Morse code is saying is I love Warhammer 30 times. It's actually 40 times. Think about it. Yeah, fair, Ralph Boner. But you know what's funny about that is I've heard there's something to that Ralph Boner thing. I've heard the Ralph Boner thing could help you understand the Doctor Doom thing. Oh. 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 What now? Say what? 40K times. My man, hell yeah. I don't know why she would be in Secret Wars without actually being a big character. Yeah. You guys are starting to figure it out. Yeah. Hey, Parker Twips. Appreciate you gifting 5 memberships. My man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, brother. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Are you gonna watch Vision Quest? Nah, man. I mean, I might watch some of the episodes if people are like, "Yo, Beast is in it in this episode." Maybe I'd watch it. But yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Truly, I do. Thank you. I want to see Doom Bear the piss out of Hulk. I don't know what that means. That seems like a typo or something. I don't know what that means there. 'Tis the season for nerd venting. Fa la 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 la. My name is Jeff. Vision Quest might be fire, actually. It could be, bro. I'm not against it being fire. I mean, frankly, Agatha was more impressive than I would have expected, especially that 7th episode. And like, kudos to Jake Schreier. That's good shit. Echo I thought was better than expected until it had the worst fucking finale I have ever seen in my life. Wow, that shit was bad. Dude, Echo, like, I was like, oh, damn, like, they're playing around with this, like, connecting maybe otherworldly things to, like, native people, and I'm, like, about that shit, because I think about, like, Graham Hancock and, like, Ancient Aliens and all that kind of shit. I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. I actually liked the characters in Echo. Like, they had a good, like, core cast, you know? But that finale was... Bro, it was, like, fucking laughable. It was laughable, that finale. Anyway. Can someone let me know a good Marvel project from recent years that's worth watching, taking suggestions? You know, that's kind of an interesting question. I mean, I think Thunderbolts is great. I think Fantastic Four is great. Deadpool Wolverine is really fun. Probably just like a crowd pleaser if you want the most pleasing one. I think Loki season 1 and season 2 are absolutely incredible. I like Multiverse Madness quite a bit. Not everybody does. Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi, those are some of the bangers to me. Those are some of the bangers to me. Weren't you under the influence while tweeting yesterday? Yeah, later on in the day. I forget when I started drinking with dinner. And man, as all that shit started leaking and whatnot, I was a little drunk and I was having a lot of fun with it. If Steve is back in the 50s, could he be in 828? Maybe. I don't think so, but maybe. Yeah. I started drinking with breakfast. What are you, Scottish? Josh, drunk tweets are something else. Did you see my drunk tweets? Here, let's go over my drunk tweets and then we'll get on out of here, okay? All right. So this is right about when I started drinking. I was like, LOL. Bro, LOL, okay? And then I was like, Feige about to leak his OnlyFans just to stop the bleeding. They should have paid those VFX artists more, on God. Feige about to make Secret Wars completely on AI in an underground bunker and emerge with slop that will actually surprise us. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm drunk and this is just too fun. So yeah, I was having a lot of fun last night, dude. This one was really good. This is Tom and Melvin in our community. Sorry, guys. I'm sure Supergirl and Clayface will be great, though. You're cooked. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for today. What another incredible stream. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown, speculation, theory, crafting, and all that shit. A lot more coming at you. So tomorrow we will stream after I've watched the Steve Rogers trailer in theaters. I'm sure there's other things that'll drop, potentially something in an hour that Alex is going to drop or something. So there'll be more to talk about tomorrow as well. And then Friday, starting at 5, a little after 5, we are going to do a Christmas-themed holiday cheer stream where I have a couple of cocktails and we go over my predictions from late 2024 on what I thought would happen for all the big brands, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, and all the other ones in this year of our Lord 2025. I think I got a lot of shit wrong, but it's going to be a good time. So look out for all the content in the coming days. Big video dropping either later today or tomorrow about Steve Rogers, some of the speculation, some of the theories. You're going to want to see that. I'm going to do a big theory video about all the kids and Doom's Kid and all that shit too. So a lot of content coming at you. Thanks for being here. We're just getting started, man. These next couple of weeks are going to be crazy, but it's going to get crazy into next year as well. Really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.
The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Hey, you want to know what the thing Alex is probably talking about is? And I don't know this to be true, but let's just watch what happens. I bet the announcement will be that the trailer is going out early, official, and soon. But we'll see. I guess we'll find out, and we'll find out together. And wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? But I guess if that happens, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, you know? Anyways, any freaking ways, listen to me, man. Listen to Papa Josh. This is a wonderful time of year. Get out there. Do a little shopping. Do a little window shopping if you're broke, man. Help hold the door open for an old lady. Let that old guy get out in front of you into the street in his car, not so that you can hit him. Get out there. Do some good deeds. Feel the love during this time of the year, man. I love it. Everybody's in better spirits. We need that shit, man. I think after this year, we've been needing that shit. Get out there and embody it yourself. Embody it yourself. Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Get out there, man. Spend some time out there. Get some holiday cheer in you. It's good stuff. It's good for the soul. I appreciate you. We'll be back at it soon. Do me a favor. Actually, make it two. Open up your third eye and watch out. Your stinky butt.